Hello and welcome back to Substream News. Now today's first story I can't really tell you that much about, and that's because Meta is keeping the real truthful information to themselves. I can give you the outlines of the story, but the answer to the big question, is Meta using their Ray-Ban glasses to train AI models, is an answer I just can't give you. By the way, guys, I'm here on a beautiful rooftop in Chinatown, and I'm just wondering, I've got a question for you. Why aren't you subscribed yet? If you are subscribed, thanks a lot. If you're not, please do. It really helps us. There's certain YouTube milestones we're trying to hit. They open up different community features, and we want to do more creative and wonderful things for you guys. So let's continue. So you may remember, not that long ago, we did a story about how Meta's major marketing partner, CMG, I believe they're called, they admitted that they could use your device's microphone to target advertising back to you based on what you've been talking about. Now, Meta, Amazon, and various other affiliated companies really distanced themselves from these claims. Some even fired CMG. So it was a bit of a scandal. That's why it was in the news, and that's why we reported it here on Substream News. But moving on from that, now Meta has these smart glasses. They're sunglasses in collaboration with Ray-Ban, and you can live stream with them, you can take videos and photos, but you can also set them up with a voice feature. So if you say, look, the glasses are going to take a photo, and what happens to that photo? Is it being used to train AI? We don't know. TechCrunch reported that they actually asked Meta directly this question: do you plan to train AI models on the images from Ray-Ban Meta's users, as you do on images from public social media accounts, which we discussed in this video in the corner. You can go watch that. The response from Anuj Kumar, a senior director working on AI wearables at Meta, said, "We're not publicly discussing that." That's a very diplomatic way of avoiding the question, and so the story ends there for now. Let's move on. Now, I've got a bit of an AI assistant double story for you now. The first part is that OpenAI has launched a new feature, and it looks pretty cool. Now, it's already available on other chat assistants, so they've kind of nicked the idea a little bit, but it's called Canvas, and it's a pop-out window that gives additional tailored support for things like coding and writing. And it looks pretty nice, and it's already available for GPT+, Team, Enterprise, education users, and so far, so good. Now, I've got an accurate description of it here. It's called a virtual interface space for writing and coding projects that allows users to consult with ChatGPT on certain portions of a project. A separate window opens beside the main chat space, and users can put writing or code on this new canvas and highlight sections to have the model focus on and edit like a copy editor or code reviewer. That's from the official OpenAI blog. Now you can just type use Canvas, and the window should open if you qualify one of those 4 account types that I mentioned. You can now even use this Canvas tool to change the reader level. So if you have a piece of text that's a little bit too complicated, you can tell it to rewrite this like kindergarten level, or if it is kindergarten level and you want it academic level, incredibly it's going to do its best to convert it. You can also ask it to give text more life by adding emojis and color and just helping bring it to life, which I think is pretty nice. Now, what about part 2? Now, if you've ever, I really like this story, but if you've ever been in a Zoom meeting or Google Meet and you notice that the host has a Otter AI or a Firefly's AI assistant note taker in the call, you may not have realized that they could be really, really damaging. Yes, it turns out that a lot of people don't really consider the full implications of having an AI note taker in their call. But what if you drop out of the call early and then your colleagues or whoever you were talking to start bad-mouthing you? Well, because of how these tools are set up, you get the full minutes, you get the full script from the call, which means if you do drop out early, you can go back and read everything that was said after you left. This is getting people in trouble. Actually, I have here an example, and this was in the news, and this guy, Mr. Bilzerian, he'd logged off, and he'd been talking to some potential investors. Now, after he'd logged off, they had discussed their firm's strategic failures and cooked metrics. That's what he told the Washington Post. He alerted the investors to the incident, and they profusely apologized, but he still decided to kill the deal, as you can imagine. So things like office gossip, business revelations, earnings reports. If you want to know a story about earnings reports, go watch this one in the corner. Our last video, well, a few videos ago actually, we did about a man who hacked earnings reports from CEOs and made millions in the process until he got caught. Just consider next time you're in a call and there's otter or fireflies or something like it taking notes, it could make or break you or them. Okay, this next story caught my attention because, well, as you well know from watching this channel, I consider myself a futurist, and I love talking about technology and the world that we will one day inhabit, good or bad. I find that very interesting, and I guess so do you. That's why you're here. So it really caught my attention this week when I saw that Toyota had put another $500 million into a air taxi startup. Now, this is not their first investment. Actually, in total now they've put $894 million into this company since 2018. Now, the company is called Joby Aviation, and the air taxi, I guess it's somewhere between a helicopter and a giant drone. It's a vertical takeoff. Actually, it's called an eVTOL vehicle, which is an electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicle. It looks absolutely the mutts nuts. You should be seeing it right now in a clip. I think they look epic. I would definitely take one. But let me tell you a little bit about this investment. Well, they're going to receive $250 million in two tranches, and the first one this year, the second one next year. They're also going to establish a manufacturing alliance with Joby that should help Toyota firmly establish itself as a kind of market leader or dominant player in the air taxi space, which is really in very early stages. Toyota already has a deal in place with Joby to make various components for these air taxis. So I've put together a little fact file about Joby Aviation because this may be the first time you've heard of them, and I want you to familiarize yourself because let's say, you know, it was 10 years ago or 15 years ago and somebody's telling you about Tesla and you shoo-shooed it. Well, this could be one of those moments. Joby could be a household name in a few years. So let me tell you. It was founded in 2009 and operated pretty much under the radar until 2018 when it received an investment of $100 million. Toyota's not alone. Intel and JetBlue have also made significant large investments. Joby aircraft have 6 rotors, seat 1 pilot and 4 passengers. They take off vertically and then shift forward using tilt rotors. Pretty cool. Top speed, now this one surprised me, 200 miles per hour, but can only do 150 miles on a single battery charge. So I think they've probably got to fix that one. They are 100 times quieter than a conventional aircraft. I don't know if that's comparing it to a plane or a helicopter. I'm not even sure which is louder. I feel like helicopters are a bit louder, aren't they? Now, the good news is they've been doing exhibition flights in Manhattan, and also New York and LA are coming soon, and they're going well, allegedly. Somebody blowing a whistle. Now, there's a side note here. It's another aviation story. It connects to this. Dubai's Emirates Airlines has banned all pagers and walkie-talkies. Now, we don't really like to talk politics here on Substream News because it's kind of boring and it's constantly changing and it's so nuanced and you can never really win and you've always got to pick a side. And we don't like that. Well, the future is the future for all, we hope. But that news, based on what happened in Lebanon a few weeks ago, makes sense, and I would expect other airlines to follow suit. So expect to not be allowed to take pagers and walkie-talkies onto flights. Substreamers, you may remember, if you watch our videos regularly, that just a few videos ago, link in the corner, I was talking about how Costco has got into the like rentals market, or they're building huge rental units in the US to provide affordable housing, which is a wonderful thing. And the company actually has a really stellar reputation for being quite honorable, which not a lot of corporations do. Well, this is another Costco story. Yes, they've made the news this time because, and this is quite random, they're going to start selling platinum bars on their websites. Yes, platinum bars, the precious metal. Now, it turns out they already sell silver coins and gold bars or bullions, and now they're moving into the platinum game. Well, that really surprised me because I remember hearing that if you melted down all the platinum in the world, it would, and put it into an Olympic-sized swimming pool, it would only about reach your knee in one pool. So I thought it was very, very precious. Now, it turns out I might be wrong. They may have discovered a lot more of it because, well, you can buy, here it is, a 1 ounce platinum bar for $1,089.99. There's a caveat. They're only sold online, and you can't buy them if you're in Louisiana, Nevada, or Puerto Rico. To make the purchase, you do need to be a member, which costs between $65 and $130 a year, and there are just 2 per member limit. That's your limit. Would you buy them? Are they a good investment? I know that's the big question here. Gold is traditionally a much better investment than platinum when you look at longer timescales. I'm not here to give investment advice. These are just the stats. The data says that platinum's price has risen 15% over the last 12 months, but it has dropped 8% since May, while the value of gold has risen 40% in the past year and 70% in the past 5 years. Way higher than inflation. So if you're looking to hedge inflation, they are very different performance rates. And I think investment stuff, probably a bit boring. Let's move back onto some interesting news. And on a lighter note, we always like to finish something a bit lighter. This is a story that the 7-year-old me would have absolutely loved. It's about Halloween and free games. What a combination. So I saw recently that Xbox has curated a selection of spooky, Halloween, scary, horror games, basically, and they've basically created like a library of games that meet the Halloween theme, and they've even put some freebies in there, but there are some massive discounts to have. So the Spooky Games collection is perfect if you're an Xbox One, Series X owner and are looking for something fun to play. Now, let me tell you, I'm just going to give you the list of games so that you can go and research them for yourself. Mortal Kombat, Dead Space, Alan Wake, Alone in the Dark, Control, Poppy Playtime, Lego, Harry Potter, Blair Witch, The Witcher, Outlast, Layers of Fear, A Plague Tale, Batman, Devil May Cry, Resident Evil, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Wolfenstein, Zombie Army, The Walking Dead, Vampire Survivors, Remnant, Quake, Hello Neighbor, Psychonauts, Costume Quest, Diablo, Life is Strange, Dragon Age, Hollow Knight, and Lies of P. Wow. How many of them have you played? Wow. There's quite a lot of games to play between now and Halloween, but go check out that collection. You may discover a game that you've never played before. Now, I'm absolutely dripping, and it's lunchtime, so I'm going to leave you there. Thank you for watching Substream News. I'll see you in the next episode.